Among Us? Hello and welcome back to Better Than Adventure. I don't know what I started off with. I guess that's Gen Z brain rot. Gen Alpha would be like... that fucking toilet thing. I don't know, man. It's... I'm not old. I'm in my 20s barely. And yet, I have no clue what's going on. My items have desynced. My items have no longer desynced. Maybe it's a sign of me getting old. But like, man, it is scary. Just like that fucking toilet thing has a collab with the Fortnite game, which I'm routinely reminded how my world, you know, it's my personal world that I have, you know, of just like older people. By older people, I mean like Zoomers and millennials, like, you know, early Zoomers and late millennials. Nobody here plays that game, I don't think. So, like, every so often, I'm just reminded how absurdly huge that game is. And, like, it kind of talks... It's kind of like a societal atomization thing. If you don't know the story, what atomization is, basically... So, if you would imagine, like, imagine the 80s, right? Imagine the 90s, imagine the 70s. They all have, like, a sort of general theme, you know? If, you know, there was a popular artist back then, everybody kind of knew of them, because they were on MTV, they were on, you know, the news, they, you know, everybody knew about 9/11. But nowadays... people don't really have that anymore. I mean, if you look at it, how many celebrities are there that you don't really... Like, even the hugely popular ones, like the most popular YouTuber, the most popular VTuber, whatever, nobody knows about them. Like, oh, for fuck. That was a very distant explosion. The only reason why I know that one of the most popular VTubers is Iron Mouse is because I randomly heard about it one day when I was doing something else. Because there was this apparently, like, person, I think it was, like, during the anti-AI stuff, which, yes, please, more people should join in. Computer bad, hit with hammer, okay? But, like... It's one of those things where I'm being goodbye. Yeah, but it's just one of those things where I don't really... I don't know, man. I don't care. Like, sure, whatever. I don't watch, you know, it's kind of like one of those things. If I cared about everything which went on online, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't sleep. There's so much going on, you know? Like, and that also goes kinda back. I feel like is sort of the average, like, person or group nobody's heard of has way more influence now than it did before. Like, if I talk about the 80s and 90s, there's this band called Meat Beat Manifesto, which I'm pretty sure, like, almost nobody's heard of, except, like, maybe a few people, and none of those people are watching a Minecraft video, so, yeah. But, like, man, hearing one of their songs, I understand why people like them, but people are just like, you know... They haven't heard of him. But if you think of, like, oh, I don't know, Carpenter Brut, a lot of people heard of him. Now, why? Why have they heard of this one really cool guy from France, but not Paris? That's a very important thing. Why have they heard of Mr. Frank, and why haven't they heard... Well, it's basically because of the internet. Entirely because of the internet. The internet lets you... I mean, this is like... so big. I mean, you know, it makes sense. What has changed between back then and now? Now you can just like whatever stuff you like, and even if nobody else has heard of it, who cares? You know, it's just whatever. Ooh. But that's sort of the difference, I guess. Because back in the day, like, I guess there were big creators, but like, realistically, well, not created, you know what I mean. But like, nowadays it's so different. Nowadays, you can just follow whoever you like, and nobody's gonna be there to tell you, like, no, why aren't you listening to the popular stuff? I mean, also, music has kind of changed. Back in the good old days of, like, 20 years ago, we didn't have Spotify. It was normal, and this is something that apparently people look at you weirdly for doing today, which just kind of, very, concerns me a lot. Back in the day, you would buy, like, songs, or if you would legally buy songs that you would legally put on your legal MP3 player, okay? It's probably out of the statute of limitations thing. I don't actually know how long it is here, but whatever. But listen, okay? So what you would do is you would listen to the music, and then once you, like, okay, if you want to do this, you bought a Discman, right? And you put your little disc inside, and you went on a walk, because if you ran with it, it'd skip. But, you went on your walk with your little Discman, and, you would be listening to your music. And then once the music was done, you would listen to it again. If there was a song you would like, you would play it again. But now, it's like, so the culture of music has just changed to, like, just, you know, consume all of the music once, and you're done. No rewatches, no re-listens. That's weird. What are you, some kind of weirdo? And there's this kind of culture around music that, I don't think is very positive. Mainly because it takes away from the fact that music is art, I guess. It's a sort of endless fight between the, you know, restless urge to consume, and the restless urge from artists to create art. There's so much art which is, like, not understood. Because sometimes artists do a really shit job at conveying what they're trying to say. But other times, it's just because, I'll be honest here, a lot of people, including myself, could see something that has, like, a message that's like, wow, that's pretty cool. But it goes in one eye and out the other eye. Or I guess in one ear and out the other ear if it's music. You know, like, the average person is, like, clueless about music. The average person is clueless about most things. There was, like, that one meme where it's, like, survey shows British public is wrong about nearly everything. Which is true. The average person knows nothing. And, they have an opinion on everything. Which is, I believe, the most human trait all of us can have, you know? If aliens came to Earth who only gave their opinions on things you knew about, we could immediately tell, you know, who the aliens were. We ask some, like, oh, hey, are you an alien? No. Do you hate insert random person who, like, you could vaguely know of here? Like, do you hate, I don't know. Like, no, it's like, do you think, fucking, what was his name? I'm trying to think of, like, fucking Brighton Bark. Do you think he was, yeah, I specifically thought of somebody, like, fucking random. Do you think that, do you think that he was actually a, like, an agent, or did the South African government make that up? I'll tell you the story after we're done with the, analogy, but then they would be like, oh, I don't know, I would have to do research on it first, and then we capture them. And then when they're like, oh, but how did you know we were aliens? We'd be like, no human on Earth would wait to educate themselves before they open their mouth and begin to move it. Yes, Mr. Brain may not be at home at the time of speaking. However, the average human is not thwarted by such a simple issue. The average human will speak, even if what they speak is fucking stupid. That is an inherent human trait, it seems. But like, and you may be an alien if you disagree. But like, look, what I'm trying to say is that it's in the inherent human experience that we say stupid things we know nothing about. I don't know where I'm going with this. Oh, also, yeah, to talk about it, I only know about the guy from a Spitting Image song. I'm uncultured, yes. And basically, okay, so if you guys don't know, there was a very, so South Africa was for a while historically embargoed by everybody around them, because they were like turbo ultra giga mega racist to the point that like the already other, you know, even other Western countries were like washing their hands off South Africa. They wanted nothing to do with them. And so basically, because of that, there was this one guy who was anti-apartheid in South Africa called Brighton Breitenbach, which is a really funny name, honestly. Because it's kind of, you know, his name's also a part of a surname. I don't know. But, so the dude actually passed away recently, which is kind of sad. But the guy went away from South Africa, married a person, I'm just gonna say a person of color, I don't know what race they actually were. Then he came back to South Africa. I don't know if it was with her or without her. I'm just gonna say without her, because she wasn't arrested. And if you didn't know, at that point in time, it was illegal to marry someone of a different race there. Ooga booga! 13th century BC. Not even, no, even in the... No, I'm saying that like, oh, they were fucking, you know, uncultured cavemen. No. Because modern racism, the way it, you know, the way it was in, you know, there, didn't exist back then. Modern racism is a white man's invention, literally. I know, like, some people use, you know... I mean, I personally love the Yakub memes, where it's like, some dipshit's like, oh, what is a black invention? If you want to know, the reason why we won World War II was because of... it's mobile refrigeration. It is extremely useful for supply lines. Okay, I know people like, oh, mobile refrigerator. No, listen, you don't know how big that is. What, you don't want ice cream? What, you don't want, like, to be able to eat ice cream? Be thankful to the inventor of... Actually, we can Google that. Who invented mobile refrigeration? Frederick Jones. Sorry, Frederick McKinley Jones. I think? I'm not sure. There are multiple images, and it's a black and white image, so I honestly, I can't, yeah, Frederick Jones. Yeah, it is Frederick Jones, yeah, I can't, it's, you can tell I wasn't born in, like, 1836, because I look at an image of a guy and I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a black and white image, I genuinely can't tell. It is kind of funny though, like, holy shit. People don't think about, like, so... I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess that stuff just kind of done, but, like, man, people really don't consider how, like, how many inventions are, like, not thought of, but extremely important for, like, civilization. The world would end tomorrow if there was no mobile refrigeration, if it magically stopped being a thing. Oh shit, it's happening again. Well, this is happening in front of a mansion, so I could make the joke that I'm being Luigi'd right now, but I'm not. I'm instead going to insinuate I made the joke, which makes it immediately funny because it's I don't know. I'm just gonna say Justin Roiland as an insult. If somebody called me a Justin Roiland comedian, I would feel offended. It'd be a personal attack. Like, you can't compare me to that guy, okay? I would stop. Just like I would learn how to hold it in so I don't smile anymore, just so nobody could compare me to him. I do not want to be associated with somebody like that. Somebody so unfunny. If you don't know who Justin Roiland is, it's the Rick and Morty guy. And you know Rick and Morty comedy is, well, it sure is. Okay, I'm back. Let's get a new shovel. Disheveled. Maybe it was disheveled. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just... Okay, yeah, we're done. Sorry, we're almost done with the front, I guess-ish. Could put some more trees over here. But yeah, like, shockingly enough, I am... Oops. I am really not a fan of, like, that kind... Oh, I say shockingly, kind of half-jokingly, but, like, I'm really not a fan of that kind of Justin Roiland-style comedy. I think most people don't, honestly. It's just... that kind of, you know, that kind of Rick and Morty humor. It's just kind of... You know, it's just kind of fucking ingrained into people's skulls that it's, like, kind of Reddit. Which I understand, like, it's a pretty big insult, saying that somebody's humor is Reddit, but, like, it's really Reddit, okay? It is also kind of funny how Reddit is kind of an insult in that way, where, like, you can just say that something is Reddit, and, you know, even if you can't define what it means, you know, people already know what, you know what I mean. It's like, I don't have to define what it means for something to be Reddit. People already kind of internally can understand what it means. It's just like, when something is very Reddit. I guess if I was forced to give a definition on what it means for something to be Reddit, it's like, you know, when something is kind of like... I can't do it, I was just gonna say when something is kind of Reddit, but, like, that's just the same thing again. Ah, it's painful, it's painful. Do I like how this would look? It's fine. Just fine. I like the plateau is just slowly expanding. You know, I was originally gonna make it a little bit smaller than whatever I built now, but I just kind of had to expand it a few times because it kept getting bigger. And there you go, it's eventually the size of this. Okay. Well, it's not gonna be perfect, obviously. Also, yeah, I know there's at least, like, one Minecraft player who actually fills in this stuff, but, like, I never fill these in. Why would I? It's better to just leave them open. Yeah, if mobs can spawn, that's gonna be a bit of an issue. Oops. But, like, who cares? It's just whatever. Wait, no, it'll look nicer if I put it here. Yeah, so it's gonna be like that and that, okay. Wait, it's the last two. Okay. Chicken. You gotta be shitting me, really? It's a chicken! Look at him. Yeah, okay, whatever. Now, I've been thinking, the issue I see is that something's kind of missing. A bit of texture. Let's add some texture. I don't actually know how I'll do this. So my idea would be to, get to the basalt bricks. We'll have a lot of basalt brick stairs, so... Oops. Ooh, by the way, you can play Silent Hill mode. What is that one called? Like, I don't remember what the song's name was, but you know what I mean. So, which one of these would look better? I'll do both, just to test. They need to make a new Silent Hill game that isn't a remake. Which one of those looks better? I'm gonna go with this one. Hold on, I have to see it from further away. Okay. I think it'll be that one, because it's just more equal. But yeah, man, it's just kind of so sad what they did to that game. Though, to be fair, my first experience with Silent Hill was never actually with, like, watching somebody play the game or playing the game. No, I still haven't done either of those. It was hearing the music in a GTA 5 Bigfoot video. Sorry, in a GTA San Andreas Bigfoot hunting video. I actually don't remember what creature it was. May have been Bigfoot, may have been something else. I don't know. What I do know is that the music is really good. I would say thank you to the music oh my god. Fuck. But sadly, I don't know who they are. I'll do it like this and hope nobody no, I'll have some basalt bricks that are normal and full. There we go. Yeah, man, it is just, I don't know. It is kind of funny how, like, so many people just kind of... I mean, honestly, the myths kind of drive me to think... they kind of drove me into, like, kind of enjoying horror. Because I would say there's a type of horror that I will just call, like, something stupid. Oh my god, did I seriously... I used all the stone, I think. Oh. Okay, but basically, like, I'm gonna call that type of horror, like, watching horror. Not like watching a YouTube video where they play FNAF, but like, sorta, I don't know how you would describe it, but it's like, the horror you feel when, like, something is watching you in a game, right, for instance, where it's, like, ominous. It's not immediately, you know, it's not immediately, like, scary, because, you know, the fear isn't, I guess it's a fear of the unknown thing, but it's like, the horror specifically comes from the idea that, something is out there, and I have to figure out what it is, you know? I have to find the thing. Like the movie! No, but, you know, that is what I personally find really cool. Maybe not scary, in a way. The fear factor isn't really created by the premise of it, you know? Like, is searching for something spooky. That doesn't really make the, you know, experience... That's not what makes it scary. What makes it scary is how it's set up and pulled off. In the right mood, even if you don't find anything, it can still be scary. Like, you know... hunting for Bigfoot in GTA it still had its scary moments, even if, you know, there was never any big to foot. There was, you know, there was never a thing in the woods in the game. There was never a woods creature. But the story around it, that is what, actually, you know, made the game so much fun. Specifically, the thing which made it so scary was, like, I guess I've told the story before. It was in a few David Dustin videos, but, for a while, the videos were just, like, him... They were well made for the time, but, like, the thing was, it's kind of hard to actually find stuff in San Andreas, because a lot of it is bullshit. Some of it is real, like, you know, the cars going around and figuring out why they go, the fact the planes that crash have no pilots, and the fact UFOs actually exist in the game. All of that is fine, but what made Bigfoot, you know, when he was searching for Bigfoot, there was apparently some kind of woods creature that is a sort of general term for, like, the things that are supposedly found in the woods. And, he did find something. He saw, like, something moving, you know, some creature or whatever, like a vaguely humanoid shape running through the forest in the background when he was searching for, you know, something in the woods. And that is huge. That is like, that is like Flat Earthers finding the, like the one thing which would kind of make them believe that maybe there's something to this, you know? It's absolutely huge. However, as you can probably tell, there's a logical explanation to it, and that logical explanation is very interesting. So it's basically because, I said this before, it's because pedestrians will go out of their cars and fight if they crash into each other or if they crash into the player. So when David Dustin was in the woods, one of the, you know, he left his car running, parked outside. So there was NPC infighting, and one of them was fighting, the other one decided to flee. And where did he flee but, where else could he flee but into the woods? And so, when David Dustin was searching for Bigfoot in the woods, or the woods creature, he did see something. Granted, that something was... Also, yeah, this feels like the console version when I play it like this. Whatever. David Dustin found an NPC running, but because he didn't know what it was, he couldn't even get a clear picture of it. Because the NPC was running through the woods, if you want to know, because it was trying to get to the nearest path, and that path was in, like, a trailer park nearby. But because, obviously, he didn't know that, he just saw something run through the woods, it's like, wow, this is huge. They could actually be a creature. Obviously, there wasn't. Sadly, actually. I should say sadly, because it was genuinely exciting. But, like... realistically, I mean, are we surprised? Nah, we aren't. It would be really cool if some... oh, damn it. It would be really cool if something was there, though, and, that's why cryptid mods exist. But I feel like cryptid mods kind of are often bad. I mean, you've seen it with the... cave dweller, or like with the dweller mods in Minecraft. The issue with them is just that, like, hold on, I'm gonna Google Minecraft Circle Maker. The issue is, very often, you will just kind of, also, let's see, how big do I want this? 1, 2, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, let's do 20. Okay. The issue just kind of is that, a lot of those mods will try their best to, sorta, you know, be... well, the issue is that a lot of the time, So, like in a horror game, right? The programmer, most of the time, is not the guy who's also directing the horror. The horror guy is, like, you know, the director. He will direct how it goes in the game. But... actually, no, so that's kind of... It's honestly kind of way larger than I thought it would be. We should maybe do 1616. Hold on. But yeah, like, the thing is, horror is very much so difficult to do. And, that is why a lot of the time the dweller mods kind of fall short. It's because, let's be real here, a lot of them just aren't scary. And then, like, yeah, sure, they can get you with a jump scare because a natural, you know, jump scares work because naturally humans will, you know, have the instinct to jump when they hear a loud noise, you know, like fight or flight, because the human body, as much as we can understand that, you know, the thing in the computer isn't real, it'll still make you jump. And, that's kind of the TLDR. But basically, yeah, because of that, a lot of the time, a lot of the cheaper, shittier mods will, just kind of forget about that and, make it, ooh, scary by having a loud noise. Like a PNG on screen. And honestly, I mean, it can genuinely be scary. But oftentimes, it's just not. Like, most of the time, jump scares don't really scare you that much. I personally don't have, like, that big of a, you know, reaction to it. Like, it's one of those things where they do scare, like, they do startle you. At least for me, when I played, you know, Alien Isolation, the bit of it that I played. Like, they do startle me. They, like, I'm like, oh, fuck. And then they're over. It's not, like, actually feeling fear, you know? It's not like, oh my god, I'm terrified. These things are trying to eat me. It's more just like, ah. Well, I guess I'm dead. You know, it's way less cool. And, if I was making a horror game, I would just do better. Because that's how it works, obviously. I would do better. And that's what everybody thinks, and then they try, and then they fail. It's like how people are like, oh yeah, I could make a better video game than this giant corporation can, obviously. It's so easy. And then they make... Well, I mean, they haven't made it yet. Because it's, like, in development hell or whatever. But that one, like, grifter guy is making, like... What's the game called? A Mater? And the woman in the game looks like Mewtwo the Pokemon in terms of body shape. I mean, the guy making it's probably never seen a woman in real life, so... Sure. But, like, man... Holy shit. It's just... The Hard Drive magazine, which is like a satirical... It's like The Onion, but for video game stuff. It's honestly bullying him at this point. They just... Whenever he makes a post saying something stupid, they reply with a picture of his own fucking video game. Whenever he says that, like, you know, yeah, we need a, Well, you gotta be shitting me. Why? Watch it blow up. Honestly, you know back when creepers were like mobs that would jump at you and punch you? And then when you would kill them, they would explode anyways? It'd be kind of funny if a mod recreated that, because it would be awful. Like, negatively awful. I'm lazy, so I'm just gonna reuse some granite. What I'll do a pattern so I can have an excuse to my reuse. Like that. But yeah, it is maybe kinda a little bit bullying, because obviously the game is unfinished and awful and terrible, but like, it's also kinda hashtag deserved. I mean, it is a magazine doing it, not an individual, which I guess makes it more funny. It is also because hard drive is like normal. It's headed by normal people. Relatively. I mean, you can only be so normal and a gamer. But like, you know what I mean. The crazy frog is just a normal frog to me, said the troll face. Have a great weekend, said the troll face. It's just, I don't know. A lot of that stuff is kind of like, I mean, you can tell the kind of person I am when I find that sort of stuff funny. I don't know. I like that kind of, I don't know why. It's just, sometimes something being unfunny is what makes it funny. You know, like, I don't think saying, have a great weekend, said the troll face, is funny. That isn't why that image is funny. Everything else about the image is funny. It's kind of like why something being in a lower video quality can make it more funny. I mean, sometimes the point is that the quality is low, but that's not what I mean. It's like, I don't know, something being more crusty can make it more funny. Just like Krusty the Clown. They should make a new Simpsons hit and run game. The old one was kind of hated a little bit. The funny thing is, the biggest issue I had with hit and run was that the platforming was kind of half-baked, and that, you know, some of the races were fucking impossible. And that, you know, it also gets repetitive a bit. Like, there were a few issues, okay? Oh, I only had an issue with this, I had an issue of that, and with the other thing, no. But, like, realistically, if they remade Hit and Run, they would need to fix a lot of stuff, so I guess I get why they haven't, okay? Like, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Did I? Oh, you've gotta be shitting me. One off. Bane. Okay. And I only realized this after everything has water in it, okay. Okay, what I'll do, I guess, is I'll move. Look, it'll be a quick job, okay? It'll be a quick job. I know the video's like getting long already, but you know, it'll be a quick job. I just want my fucking fountain done. Feels like this project will never end. But the thing is, unlike the big old tree farm, on this one you can actually make progress. On the other one, it was just a bunch of mining, and that gets boring quickly. Oh yeah, also, if I keep doing this, it'll flood the underground, which will mean that all the torches there will be wiped, and mobs will start to spawn, which will cause problems later. But you know, that is a problem for future me, and not for current me, so why would I bother fixing it? There's a sort of joke where it's like, you know, oh, it's a problem for future me, and then when it arrives, I curse the past me for just kind of handing it off. Okay, now that is one block off, and as much as a part of me kind of likes how janky it looks and how bad it looks, but like the normal me then is like, okay, whatever, I have to fix it. Okay, I'm gonna just put this in 1 and 2. It's gonna be easier. Okay. I'm gonna use you in 3. Okay. There we go. Oops. Oops. Okay. There we go. It's just like if I never accidentally did it the wrong way. Ta-da! It's perfect. It is kind of funny how I went all the way to here only to realize, oh yeah, oops, wait a minute, what? Did that just... Hold on a moment. It felt like that, okay, it felt like one of these textures was like, for a moment, like only, you know, happen again. Huh? No, wait, what? Happened there? It's like if they were using a fine texture mapping or whatever. Maybe it's my brain imagining it from playing so many PS1 games, but like, man. I'll have to check in post. It's like the texture warped. It was like here or whatever, and then... I'll have to see, whatever. I'll see you next time. But I like how quick this is. If you walk too slowly. Yeah. Yeah, whatever. See you next time. Goodbye.